Hello everybody and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to talk about Climax. Climax is coming up and of course Gunther is sprinting around in the background as usual. But Climax 2023 is coming up and I'm really excited to go there. I'm actually working there as a content creator, so that's going to be really cool. Climax is really well known in the harder styles. It is one of the biggest and most famous parties that we have when it comes to hardstyle. It is also really considered an honor if you're playing there as a DJ, so it's always really exciting when the lineups drop and you know when it's almost Climax time, Climax week, etc. Climax is an indoor event. It's on the 18th of November. It starts at 9 p.m. It's till 7 p.m. No, not till 7 p.m. till 7 a.m. and it takes place in the GelreDome as it has been for years. I'll tell you a little bit more about the locations of GelreDome later, but let's dive into the kinds of tickets they have first. As I'm filming this, there's still tickets available for Climax. If you want to buy a ticket for any event that's sold out, please look at TicketSwap. It's the safest way to buy tickets or to sell tickets for sold out events. There are also premium tickets for Climax and you actually get a separate entrance, so that's great. I have a little cheat list on my phone. You get a locker with your ticket and you get access to the premium deck and the premium lounge. I was there as a premium guest last year, which it was really nice. You have like a big deck on the side, like all the way on the top. You can, you know, get a locker there. I did have to pay for the locker, I believe, so it's not included in the ticket, but you do get your share of getting a locker. Talking about lockers, if you have a normal ticket, you can also buy a locker online. So if you want to make sure you have a locker, that would be the best way to do that. Like most events nowadays, you do have to personalize your ticket, so please don't forget that. Okay, I'm gonna sit on my ass. My feet are asleep. I'm sorry. So let's talk about travel to Climax. A lot of people are I'm so low now. I'm sorry. Do you like my new background? I fucking love it. Anyway, a lot of people that are traveling to Climax are actually not from the Netherlands. If you are from the Netherlands, of course, you can go by public transport. Just use the 9292 app. We all know that if you live here. And I just spit at you. I'm sorry. And you can of course also park at GelreDome. If you want to buy a parking ticket, you can do that on the GelreDome page. So not on the Climax website, but on the GelreDome website, or buy one at the event itself. From my experience, it's often more expensive to do it at the event itself. I'm not sure if this is the case for Climax, but having a parking ticket beforehand is always easier. So of course, if you come from a different country, these are also options for you. But there's also travel and stay options with hotels, which I can really imagine is handy when you're traveling from far, especially if you come by plane. So let's dive into that. So let me get my little cheat list for the travel and stay packages. There's tickets available to book that include a hotel. So if you get a travel and stay package, you book a ticket and a hotel. There's multiple options, like there's a list of like cities with hotels they're in. Like I'll leave the link there down below. I'll leave the link down below so you can check that out. There's also a Climax hotel. I believe that is sold out, but maybe for next year Climax hotel looks really interesting. Like you get a dinner and there's like a goodie bag and stuff like that. So that's really interesting if you're into that stuff. Also, if you do get a travel and stay package, that includes transfers from the hotel to GelreDome and also from GelreDome to the hotel. So that makes life a little bit easier. Of course, if you have to travel from the airport to the hotel, you can book a transfer through the Climax website. I would also say you can go with public transport. Public transport in the Netherlands is pretty good. As I said, the 9292 app is perfect for that. You get all travel options. You can also book your tickets, like your train, bus, whatever tickets, through that app. So yeah, if you're opting for public transport, I would look into that. I do have some travel tips for you guys. Of course, travel sober. Like if you're driving, please don't drink and drive. Don't do drugs and drive. Be careful. Also, if you're going by plane and everything, I would pack lightly. Like it's such a hassle to, especially if you're going by public transport, to bring all your shit to the hotel. And especially if you're going to Climax, don't bring all your shit. Just bring what you need. I do have like a bunch of, I do have a video about light gadgets and stuff for Climax. I'll share that in my story. It's really fun. Stuff like that is fun, but don't bring like your whole fucking suitcase. Obviously, the lockers are really small. Also, please eat and drink properly before you go to the event, especially if you're traveling from far. Like if you eat at home and you're at Climax in an hour, I can get you're not bringing like a whole fucking stash of food. I would recommend bringing some water, put it in your car, just leave it there, like the big bottles. Obviously, you can buy water at GelreDome, but like put a big bottle of water in your car and leave it there for the way back. amazing. As you guys know, I also really recommend YFood. They have the bottles that I always show you, but they also have the bars. The good thing about YFood is it is healthy, but it also really fills you up. So eating like a bar or drinking one of the drinks before an event fills you up for a few hours. They also have powders, which you can make your own shakes with, your own drinks with. These are the ones you get when you get a taster pack. I believe you get 10 total in a taster pack. And all you do is honestly just fill your water bottle and mix it in with these, and you have a shake like that fills you up forever. Also, if you go by car, you can just leave these in your car, and then, you know, if you're hungry on the way back or you just need something, you can use these. Obviously, if you're traveling from further, you need to leave these in your hotel if you have one, or finish them before you go in. You're not allowed to bring food and drinks in, like into the event, so into GelreDome. Something I would also recommend, let me grab one, oops, is something like a party dop. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure if they sell bottles or just cups at GelreDome, but if you do have a water bottle, these are really nice to close them off. Some events do have bottles like the caps on them now, but still not every event. So having one of these for any, the sun is coming through, yeah, makes the light look really weird though. These are always handy, and you can just put them on your keychain. They also, this is the rubber one, but they also have like hard ones. Anyways, I forgot to say, but YFood is code Alena YouTube, so Alena-YouTube on their website, so you can try it out. Get a taster pack if you don't know what flavor to get. I'll leave links to this below. Also, bring a fan. Ooh, when we're talking about gadgets anyway, because GelreDome gets warm, I can tell you that. Let's talk about GelreDome. So at GelreDome you pay cashless, which is an interesting thing. They have it at a lot of like the bigger events or like the bigger venues in the Netherlands now. Ziggo Dome has the same, where you just buy a card from that venue. So it's called GelreDome Wallet, I believe. I still have one. If you've been to GelreDome before, you can definitely just use the one you already got. If you don't have one, you can just buy one at the venue, and you just put money on that and pay with it. It's basically like a small credit card. I think it's really handy. I like it better than tokens. However, I would just love to be able to pay with Apple Pay or something, but I think this is a good step in the right direction for a lot of these events and venues. I would love to see like a card that we can use at multiple big events throughout the year. For example, all Qdance events or all B2S events. That would be absolutely great. We're not there yet, but I think this is really handy. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but you can just buy one like at the venue with cash or with cards. It's called cashless because you can't buy like stuff at the bar with cash, but you have to exchange for a card. So that's really handy. I think at Ziggo Dome it's the case that you can buy with Apple Pay or your card, or get a Ziggo Dome card, right? I'm not sure anymore. Or maybe it was another venue, but I like this step. We're going in the right direction with this. Also, I already mentioned it, but GelreDome is warm. Like in my experience, it gets pretty hot there. If Climax sells out, like that's a lot of freaking people. So I would dress pretty light. As I said, bring a fan. These are the XXL fans from Festival Supply. You can get this at Festival Supply, by the way, too. It's code Elena 2023. But you can also get a small fan. They also sell fans usually at the events. So whatever your preference is, I would just put some layers on. If you want to wear shorts, I would suggest putting like some joggers on. Look at me. Put some put some joggers on and just put them in your locker, because it is cold in November in the Netherlands, and you don't want to freeze to death like on your way home, which is like, I hate that. There's a hair in my mouth. Love my cats. Oh, it's my own hair. Blame the cats for nothing. But yeah, wear some layers. Just put them all in your locker and go partying. But don't get a cold because you have to go home in like shorts or a skirt or like without a shirt, whatever you're wearing. So of course we've all seen the lineup. I'm really curious what you think about the lineup. Please leave it in the comments. What artists are you looking forward to? There will also be a live stream, so if you can't actually go to Climax, there will be a live stream. Qdance will definitely post about that later. Also, there's not a timetable. There's never a timetable for Climax. It is a surprise. There's also probably going to be a surprise act. I'm not sure if that's on the lineup. There's always like a ton of surprises with Climax, and the show is always so good. Like, it's well known for like how good the show is and everything, how good the stage looks. So I'm really curious for that. The timetable, in my opinion, is usually the order from the lineup. I'm not sure. I'm not confirming this. I don't know, but it has often happened. So that could be the case. So I almost forgot. I asked on Instagram if you have any additional questions. The first one is how not to be tired, which is a very valid question. Obviously, it starts at 9 p.m. It's till 7 a.m. Not only is it a night party, but it's also pretty long. First of all, I've been sober for, is it 6 years? I think it's 6 years now. 6 or 7 years. And when I used to drink, I've never done drugs, but I'll get into that in a second. When I used to drink, I used to like get like that high, to call it like that. And then I just crashed and I was still really tired. So for me, that did not help at all. I also don't recommend it because it's so long and like drinking the whole night. Do you, but please do it safe. For me, it just made me more tired. Also, as I said, I've never done drugs. We're not counting the one time I tried space cake, which was not a success. But if you do use substances, please do it careful. Obviously, I'm definitely not saying you should do it. I don't recommend it at all. Like, being sober is for me the way to go. But I know a lot of people do it, and I can get why people do it. But please be careful. If, first of all, get your drugs tested, which sounds like such an obvious thing, but I know especially for a lot of people that come from different countries, it is not. Also, never take anything from anyone that you do not know or trust. And last but not least, please go to first aid if anything goes wrong. I know a lot of it's like such a logical thing, but a lot of people are afraid to go to first aid, but they're literally there to help you. They're trained for this. So please, if anything goes wrong, go to first aid. Be careful and watch out for your friends. As someone who is sober, which I'm kind of assuming this question also comes from someone who is sober, from the way it was phrased, get some sleep before the event. So for me, this weekend is going to be a tough one. I'm working at Hockey 360. Freaking excited for that, by the way. I'll leave a link to that as well. It's going to be so cool. I'm brand manager there. I'm so excited for this event. But I'm working till 6, so I'm sleeping in a hotel for a few hours. Then I'm going home, having some food probably, and sleep again till I have to leave for Climax. If you have a semi-normal life like most people, please try to sleep during the day a little bit. So I would suggest get like 3 or 4 hours of sleep before the event, whatever works for you. Also, as I already mentioned, make sure to eat well. Bringing some sugary things helps. You can bring stuff like dextro or some lollipops. That helps for a lot of people. I would not really recommend Red Bull. I live on Red Bull because of my lifestyle, but a lot of people do crash after Red Bull as well. So they have that like caffeine high and then crash. But if that works for you as it works for me, that would be an option. Also, I do like drinking cola. I don't even like cola, but I drink it at events because it's sugary as well. Just water, lots of water, and make sure you eat properly. As I said, Y food is a great option, but I'm someone who definitely also eats at events itself. So I usually have dinner and then a Y food on my way there. So I'm really like full and ready to go. And then a few hours in, when everything, like, usually I'm full for like 4 or 5 hours after that. And then I eat something there as well. Also fruits and stuff. So those are some of my tips. As I said, be careful if you're not sober. And also look out for your friends, whatever happens. Oh, my feet are asleep again. I need to stop sitting on them. Shorts or no shorts? That's the question. I'm like losing hair. I already kind of answered this. But yes, shorts. It's pretty hot there. Also wear something on top that you can wear, outside. Do you think we have a special unknown X? What can we expect from Showtek? So hyped. So I'm gonna say yes to special unknown acts. Obviously, I'm not entirely sure, but usually there is something like almost every year, I believe there's like special surprise acts and whatever. So I would say yes. I saw Showtek in Australia, which was so freaking cool. The vibe was so good. Obviously, everyone knew the tracks. It was just really, really cool to see them again. I don't think I've ever seen them before, actually. was really cool. I'm curious to see if we can see some new stuff there. I think Climax would be the event for something like that, you know? But we'll see what happens. But whatever happens is going to be a really good vibe anyway. It was definitely in Australia. It was so cool. Is the VIP experience worth it? Yes and no. I think they're talking about the premium experience. For me, that never had, like, I'm not really someone that cares much about that, but the premium deck is really cool. You do have a lot of space there. You have a really good view there. It's also really easy. Like, you don't have to stand in queue when you get in, or like a less long queue. You can get your locker there. So if you don't want to wait in queue and stuff like that, it is definitely worth it. I think for a lot of events, it's the same. But with events where there's just like one area, it doesn't add that much as it would at like a big, this is also big, but like a big outdoor event like DEFCON or something. The last one is kind of funny, and it is what to bring if you're gonna go have sexy time in bathroom. First of all, I'm not sure what kind of bathrooms GelreDome has, but I would not really recommend doing anything at an event bathroom. I haven't done it ever, and I'm not planning to. But of course, there's also always fun stuff to bring if you are into that. Condoms, obviously. I would suggest like maybe a small vibrator or something. But condoms and lube would be number one. I do have a code for Easy Toys, which is just Alena, I believe. Yeah, it's Alena. So you can use that if you want to buy any sexy related stuff. I'm gonna say bye now. My battery is blinking. Lots of love. See you at Climax. I'm working there, so not vlogging there, but I'm working there as a content creator for Qdance. So excited. Let me know what more of these videos you want to see. What do you want me to talk about? And I'll see you guys really soon. Bye!